Have you ever caught yourself talking to your cat like they're a person, sharing a secret, venting about a long day, or asking if they're hungry again, even though it's only been an hour since dinner? And in that moment, they just stare at you, eyes wide, in a silence that feels almost deafening. It's as if they know something you don't. But what is really going on inside their mind? Welcome. Today, we're going to do more than just answer a simple question. We are embarking on a deep journey into the feline mind. We will pull back the curtain on the mystery, decode the science, and uncover the heart of one of the most intimate and unexplored relationships in the animal world. You are about to discover what your cat really thinks when you talk to them, and even more surprisingly, what it reveals about you. If you believe that your cat understands you on a level that goes beyond words, if you've ever felt that spark of connection when they slow blink at you, then you are in the right place. This isn't just a video, it's a validation of what you've always felt. Click that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because what you're about to discover will forever change the way you speak to your cat. Take a breath, let's begin. Point 1. A world of pure vibration, how they physically hear you. First, we need to reset our understanding of reality. Cats do not understand words. When they hear your voice, they don't process it the way we do. So what do they hear? When your voice echoes through the room, to them, it's not a collection of sentences, concepts, or syllables. It's rhythm. It's energy. It's a physical vibration. Imagine standing in a calm river and watching the ripples of water pass by you. That's what your voice is to your cat. A current, a soft, flowing stream of emotional texture moving through their world. Their ears are masterpieces of biological engineering. A human can hear up to 20,000 hertz. A cat, up to 64,000 hertz. They hear ultrasounds that are pure silence to us. They hear the squeak of a mouse on the other side of a wall, the nearly imperceptible hum of a phone charger, the rustle of your clothes as you move. They evolved to hunt small, quiet prey, so their entire world is built on hypersensitive acoustics. When you speak, your cat doesn't just hear you, they absorb you. Every tiny shift in tone, every pause between your words, the tension in your breath when you've had a bad day, it all becomes part of a complex symphony they use to map your emotional state. They aren't listening to your story. They are listening to the music behind your story. Point 2, the emotional library, how your voice becomes a memory. Okay, you might be thinking, if they only hear music, how do they know it's me talking? The answer lies in one of the most fascinating abilities of the feline mind, long-term associative memory. Cats don't just live in the present. They record moments that matter, and most importantly, the associations linked to those moments. Think about this. When you come home and say in a cheerful tone, "Hey, I'm home," your cat doesn't understand the sentence. But they have filed that specific sound, that melody, that rhythm, in a special drawer in their mind. In that drawer, that sound is folded neatly next to the scent of your clothes, the rhythm of your footsteps on the floor, and the time of day it usually happens. It's a symphony of context, and your voice is the lead instrument. Though let's be honest, the crinkle of the treat bag is a very close second, maybe even the headline act on most nights. Over the years, you are building an entire emotional library inside your cat's mind. Every time you speak with love, with calm, with care, you are laying down threads of memory. You are creating an archive where your emotional voice lives forever. Your tone becomes a memory. Your rhythm becomes reassurance. In one famous experiment, researchers played recordings of cat owners and strangers' voices to cats. When they heard the strangers, the cats showed little interest. But when they heard their human's voice, even without being called by name, their ears would move, their head would turn. They recognized the melody. They recognized the sound of home. Your voice is not just a fleeting sound, it's the soundtrack to their safety. Point 3, the barometer of your mood, the science of prosody. Let's go deeper into this concept. Studies show that cats are incredibly sensitive to prosody. It's a scientific term, but the concept is simple. It's the musical and emotional aspect of speech. The tone, the rhythm, the intonation. Cats are masters at decoding our prosody. Think about the way we instinctively talk to a small baby or a puppy. We use a higher, softer, almost sing-song voice. This is no accident. In nearly every culture, a high-pitched, melodic tone is perceived as non-threatening, friendly, and reassuring. Cats respond to this instinctively. Conversely, a low, sharp, sudden tone resembles a growl or a hiss. It's a warning signal in the animal kingdom. This is why you can say the most beautiful sentence in the world. You are the best cat in the universe, with a harsh, angry tone, and your cat will stiffen or run away. But you can whisper sweet nonsense to them, and they will come closer, purring. It's not what you say, it's how you make it feel. You become their emotional barometer. Their voice is their weather. A calm tone is a sunny day. A tense, frustrated tone is an approaching storm. They don't know why the weather is changing, but they feel the drop in pressure in the air and seek shelter. A terrifying amount of power, considering this is the same creature that will knock a glass off the table just to watch it fall. This is an invisible responsibility we carry. We have the power to soothe or stress our cat just by speaking. Not by yelling, not by punishing, simply by existing loudly or softly. Point 4. The silent conversation, how they answer without words. So far we've talked about how they listen, but communication isn't a one-way street. While you are talking, they are answering you, constantly, but they use a language most of us are not trained to hear, a silent language made of body and energy. It starts with the eyes. Have you ever noticed that slow blink? It's not sleepiness. It's a gesture of absolute trust. In the feline world, a direct stare is a challenge. To close your eyes in front of another living being is the ultimate act of vulnerability. That slow blink is the feline equivalent of a whispered, "I love you." It's a signal that says, "I trust you so much that I can let my guard down in your presence." When you speak softly and they respond this way, they are mirroring your calm energy. Then there's the tail. It's an emotional antenna. A tail held straight up with a little curve at the tip. That's a happy greeting, and I'm glad to hear your voice. A tail twitching nervously, that could be irritation or overstimulation. And the most intimate gestures, the gentle headbutt on your chin or your leg, sometimes not so gentle, especially when it's 5 a.m. and their breakfast is late. This is not just a sign of affection, it's an act of scent marking. Cats have scent glands on their face, and by rubbing against you, they are depositing their scent. They are saying in their chemical language, "You are part of my family. You are mine." They are weaving their world together with yours. When they rub against your leg after you speak, they aren't just passing by. They are sealing the conversation with touch. They are saying, "I have heard you, and I answer with my presence." What is the silent way your cat answers you? That little gesture that only the two of you understand? Share that special moment in the comments below. I love reading these stories. Point 5. The myth of indifference, why their empathy is different. There's a persistent and cruel myth about cats, that they are cold, aloof, and indifferent, that they only tolerate us for food. But anyone who has truly lived with a cat knows this is a lie. The truth is, their empathy isn't loud like a dog's. It's subtle, surgical, almost spiritual. In human psychology, there is a concept called attunement. It's the ability to sense and respond to another's emotional state in real time, without the need for words. Cats are natural masters of attunement. They live in a world where every vibration matters, where stillness has meaning, and where silence is never empty. When you are sad, your posture changes. Your breathing becomes shallower, your energy field contracts, and they feel it. This is why so many people tell the same story. I was crying, and my cat, who usually keeps to himself, came and curled up on my chest. The cat is not trying to fix your problem. It's doing something much more profound. It is sharing space with your emotion. It doesn't run from your pain. It moves toward it. It offers its calm presence as an anchor in your inner chaos. They don't react, they reflect. They soften when you soften. They hide when your frustration grows too loud. And they return the moment your breath slows down again. This is not indifference. This is a form of emotional intelligence so deep that we often fail to even recognize it. Point 6. The sacred rituals. Your voice as the architecture of their day. Think about your cat's day. For us, it's marked by schedules, appointments, and deadlines. For them, it's marked by rituals. The morning ritual, the sound of the alarm, followed by the sound of your still, sleepy voice. The food ritual, the sound of a can opening, accompanied by your gentle words. The homecoming ritual, the sound of keys in the door, and immediately after your greeting. And of course, their immediate inspection to see if you've brought them anything, or if you still smell weirdly of the outside world. These are not just events. They are the pillars that hold up the structure of their world. They are the moments that confirm that everything is okay, that their universe is stable and secure. And your voice, it is the soundtrack to these sacred rituals. When you speak during these moments, you are not just communicating. You are reinforcing their reality. You are reaffirming the bond of trust between you. This is why your absence can be so disorienting for them. It's not just the lack of a person. It's a break in the fundamental rhythm of their existence, an architecture that has crumbled. And your return restores the balance. Your voice, as you cross that threshold, is the sound that says, order has been restored, the world is back in its place. In their eyes, you are part of their landscape, a trusted figure in the architecture of their day. When you speak, they don't hear an instruction. They sense the presence of a lighthouse, not a drill sergeant. Point 7. The ultimate conversation, what they really think. We've arrived at the final question. After exploring how they hear, how they remember, and how they respond, what does your cat really think when you talk to them? They don't think in sentences. They think in pure feelings, in emotional concepts. When you approach and speak softly, they likely think something that translates to, "This is the sound of my world. This sound means safety. This presence is my home." When you are crying and they come closer, their thought might be, "The atmosphere has changed. My person is unstable. My steady presence is needed here now." When you are happy and your voice is bright, they feel, "The energy is good. The world is in harmony. I can fully relax." The deepest conversation you will ever have with your cat is not about the words you use. It's about sharing a frequency. You become two souls moving within the same soundscape. One vocal, one silent, both completely aware of each other. And maybe that's why we say cats are mysterious. Not because they don't speak, but because they speak in a way we've forgotten how to hear. This deep, silent conversation we've just explored often opens the door to very specific questions, the ones we ask ourselves in those quiet moments with our feline companions. To honor that curiosity, I've gathered the 10 most common queries that people search for, all directly tied to the invisible language between you and your cat. Let's bring some clarity to these beautiful mysteries. 1. Why does my cat stare at me when I talk to them? That intense stare isn't a sign of judgment. It's a sign of profound focus. Your cat is absorbing everything, not your words, but the music of your voice, the subtle shifts in your posture, the energy you're projecting. They are listening with their whole body, and their eyes are simply the window to that deep, attentive state. 2. Can my cat actually understand my words or just my tone? Think of it this way. They don't understand the lyrics, but they feel the music perfectly. Your words are just vessels for your tone, your rhythm, and your intention. They don't know what "I love you" means, but they absolutely understand the gentle, warm frequency you broadcast when you say it. The tone is everything. 3. Why does my cat meow back when I talk to them? This is a beautiful example of adaptation. Adult cats rarely meow at each other. They developed that vocalization primarily to communicate with humans. When your cat meows back, they are participating in the ritual you started. They are mirroring your attempt at connection, speaking the only shared language you both have, a delicate dance of call and response. 4. Does my cat know its own name? Yes, but not in the way a human does. They don't have a concept of self-identity attached to a word. Instead, through repetition, they have built a powerful association. The specific sound of their name, spoken in your unique voice, has become a signal, a melody that means your attention is required, often followed by affection, food, or interaction. It's a sound they trust. 5. Why does my cat purr when I whisper or talk softly? A soft, low-frequency voice mimics the vibrations of purring itself. To a cat, your gentle tone is a signal of ultimate safety and calm. It confirms that the environment is peaceful and non-threatening. Their purr isn't just a response, it's them joining you in that state of tranquility. They are harmonizing with your peace. 6. Can my cat tell when I'm sad or angry from my voice? Absolutely. They are emotional barometers. Your sadness carries a lower, slower frequency. Your anger or frustration creates a sharp, chaotic vibration in the air. They may not understand the reason for your emotion, but they feel the texture of it. They read the weather in your voice and know when a storm is coming. 7. Why does my cat run away when I raise my voice, even if I'm not mad at them? Because in the wild, a sudden, loud noise signals danger, a predator, a threat, a territorial dispute. They don't respond to the content of your frustration, but to the sudden spike in atmospheric tension. Their instinct is to retreat to safety until the storm passes, regardless of who it was directed at. 8. What does it mean when my cat slow blinks at me while I'm talking? This is one of the most profound compliments they can give you. It is a non-verbal signal of complete trust and affection. By closing their eyes in your presence, they are making themselves vulnerable, telling you that they feel so safe with the sound of your voice that they can let down their defenses. It is their silent way of saying, I am at peace with you. 9. Why does my cat headbutt me or rub against me after I talk to them? They are sealing the conversation with their identity. The headbutt, known as bunting, deposits their unique pheromones onto you. It's a scent-based declaration that you are part of their inner circle, their family. They are not just being affectionate, they are actively marking you as safe and mine, reinforcing your shared bond. 10. Does my cat remember things I've said to them in the past? They don't remember the sentences, but they absolutely remember the feeling. Your voice is stored in their long-term associative memory as a library of emotional textures. They remember the calm melody you used when they were sick. They remember the joyful rhythm of your voice during playtime. They remember the broken frequency when you were sad. These memories create the blueprint of their trust in you. The next time you talk to your cat, try something. Don't focus on what you're saying. Focus on what you're feeling. Watch their eyes. Watch their body. Listen to the silence between your sentences. Feel the shift in the room's energy when you say their name with love. That is not a one-way communication. That is a duet. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to honor your feline companion. Share your story in the comments. Tell us about that silent moment, that gesture, that time when you knew, without a doubt, that they understood you. Your experience might be the revelation someone else needs to realize that their cat has been listening all along too. And if you want to continue exploring this beautiful bond, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Not for us, but for the ones who sit beside us, follow us from room to room, and love us in ways that words will never be able to explain. Because the most meaningful conversations are the ones spoken in silence. Thank you for watching, and until next time, may you always hear what your cat has been saying.